it shows that competition for places brings out the best in people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where I want to segue into like transfer rumours and stuff, where we've been linked with Max Aarons.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
one of my most disappointing players this season, as good as we've been, is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think he's been fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
And his place is secured because he's got no competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think someone like Max Aarons would come in and just do exactly what Tellez has done to Shaw.
Yeah.
And I'd love to. I think every player should have competition. You know, Cavani's made Rashford up his game again.
Yeah.
Van der Beek has got Bruno on his toes. Even Pogba. We're starting to... And yeah, it's transfer season, so he's bound to play well because he's always looking for a move. But fuck, if he wants to play well to get a transfer, but it leads us getting a title, by all means, mate, do what you need to do.
I think that's what's driving him, to be honest. I think we are where we are on the table, and he's looking at that thinking, oh my God, this could be my swan song. Like, win United a title, and then they'll get loads of money for me. I'll get loads of money from it.
Yeah.
I'll get a massive move to Real Madrid or somewhere, or back to Juventus. Like, it's win-win-win for everyone if we win a title with him and playing well in the team, because he'll be back to his World Cup winning days if that happens. So, but yeah, I completely agree. I think the squad depth is an important one. That's why we're playing so well at the minute. And I mean, Bruno Fernandes is he's the best player in the world right now, I think. Like, on balance, who's better than it? Certainly the best midfielder in the world.
I was going to say that there's only one name for me that sticks out, and I think it's the one we're all thinking. No, it's not Lionel Messi, Josh. Put that here down.
It's Lewandowski.
It's Robert Lewandowski,
yeah. Yeah. Just purely because of the amount of goals he scores. But would he score that many goals in the Premier League, though? That's the thing. And well, he probably would, yeah. He's class, but, I think...
But then again, actually, we said that about Timo Werner, and look at him this season.
Well, yeah. And Havertz.
Yeah.
Terrible this year. But yeah, in terms of transfer rumours, I think one issue, there'll be a couple of players, I think there'll actually be 3 players in the world right now who will be watching United thinking, I've missed my chance there. One of them will be Jack Grealish, because unless Pogba leaves, we won't sign him. The other will be Jadon Sancho, because none of us want him anymore. We don't need him anymore. I don't think that, depending on how Amad Diallo is when he comes in, he might be the future of that right wing. He could be shit, you never know. But at the same time, we're not spending 100+ million on Jadon Sancho now, without a shadow of a doubt. And the third player, who arguably I think is probably the most gutted, because he was one of the front runners to sign for United not so long ago, before Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho came on the radar, was James Maddison. Now, he is having a brilliant season, and he's banging goals in left, right and centre, and there's interview after interview of him saying he's a United fan, and like, I think that he'll probably be the one that misses out the most, because there's almost no chance we would sign James Maddison now ahead of any of those players anyway. So, which is a shame, because I really like him, but
yeah, I think Maddison, though, he's in a better place in a better squad. Like, he can go and be Leicester's talisman. Like, Vardy's 33 now, coming on 34. Maddison will be the future of Leicester, and if Brendan Rodgers keeps on doing what he's doing, you know, Leicester's not a bad club to be at.
No.
Aston Villa, are they going to keep up this season what they've been doing?
They could be last season's Sheffield United.
Yeah, and then
do it
next
this year,
season
and
it could be this season's Sheffield United, for all we know.
No, they won't. It won't go that badly for them.
No, I don't think any club will go as bad as they have.
No.
Sancho scored his first Bundesliga goal this season on weekends.
There you go. Greenwood's got more
20
than
million,
that.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Has he been injured, or is he just not performing?
He did have an injury, but he hasn't been great. But Lucien Favre just completely lost Dortmund, didn't he? Like, he had him playing some mad formation. He was playing people out of position. And it just didn't suit. So it was clear as day that it wasn't working for Sancho. Hopefully it turns around for him, because obviously I want the best for him, because I want him to do well for England.
Yeah, same.
But we'll see. I don't know, though. Has there been any other mad January transfers that we've seen?
Sammy Khedira to Everton.
I heard this on Talksport.
Yeah, I heard this.
What's going on here?
He keeps getting linked to us, but I think one of the other things that I saw was that he was interested in move to England and he wanted to talk to other clubs. And I think that's a bit more realistic for a player like him, because if he comes to Everton, word online is that he's going to have to take a pay cut. And I imagine that to be true. I know that we've got money now, but he's probably on a massive crust. Yeah. So, I know what he's doing. He's trying to shore up the midfield, isn't he, with that type of player. We've got Allen and Decore there. If we had Khedira as well, I mean, I'm not even really sure if we need him. I like Gomez. I'd like to give Gomez more time. I think when he came on against,
I like him.
When he came on against West Ham, for me, he was our best player on the pitch. Everything he was doing was perfect for his position. And he's starting to, if he can get his fitness back, he had that horrible leg break. He's had a couple of bad games at the end of last year where people were saying he came back too fast and he wasn't fit. But I reckon this could be his year if he can just settle in a little bit more and get some more time on the clock. I think he could be the third man in that midfield. I don't think we need to invest in midfield. I think we've been linked with Aaron's as well, heavily linked with Aaron's, because Coleman's obviously getting on a bit, so they see him as our main right back. And we've got Ben Godfrey there as well, who used to play with him, probably his mate, talking in his ear, trying to get him over to Everton. So we're linked with Aaron's. Sami Khedira, we need a striker. We definitely need a striker, because one up front, DCL, as we said earlier, Dale, one striker up front, he can't do it on his own. Yeah, he can hold the ball up. Yeah, he can take it down well. He's got great control. He's got everything for me, but he can't do it when he's running up against 2-3 defenders every time.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, he's still learning the game, isn't he? I mean, he's still young. He's only really been in Everton's first team properly for the last 12 months, maybe.
Yeah.
He has come on a lot since last season.
Yeah.
He's massively improved, but he's still at a young age. If you could get like someone a bit more experience in there, sort of in that position to, show him the ropes a little bit as well. Obviously with a touch of class in there, but yeah, I think you definitely need another option.
What else we've been linked with? One I saw today, Ancelotti's been inquiring about a 12-month loan deal, or probably more likely to the end of the season, for Christian Eriksen.
I saw that. And he's been linked with West Ham as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've seen Ajax and Wolves are looking at Christian Eriksen. I feel sorry for him because he was desperate. If you watch that Spurs documentary, he's like desperate to get away. And then he's got his move, and it's just been awful. It's just Inter Milan taking on the exodus of ex-Premier League players, and he's just not hit it off at all. So would he? I think maybe suited life in the Premier League a little bit. I don't know how, because he's quite a slow player, but he seemed to work for him, didn't it? But
he's like Gilbert Sigurdsson.
6 months though. These last 6 months, he was fucking dreadful.
That's because he wanted to leave, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, players want to wait, don't they? They either want to leave and they play shit, or they do what Pogba does, wants to leave and finally turns up.
Yeah, it is weird.
You could argue the whole Tottenham squad at that time was shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't just him, was it? I mean,
no, there was a lot.
Pochettino got the chop as well, didn't he? And they were just not performing, any of them whatsoever. But
was there any truth behind his wife going behind his back with? Was it Alderweireld or someone like that?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
I suggest otherwise. Let's suggest it was true, but we'll never know.
Yeah, because apparently his wife played away with. I'm sure it was Alderweireld or someone.
No, it was Vertonghen, wasn't it?
Vertonghen, that was it. Yeah,
because that's why Vertonghen left.
Yeah. So I mean, if I was Christian Eriksen and my wife had played away with one of my teammates, I wouldn't want to stick around either. Nor would I want to play my top football for a club. I'd be going truly foot out the door.
Well, I'll tell you, Josip Ilicic, who fucking went home and found out that his missus was cheating on him and he slipped into depression.
Yeah.
Well, he just started playing again. Nipping back to Everton, where you said about you need another striker. Who? Realistically.
Go on, Lee. Why don't you answer the question?
Well, yeah.
Honestly,
that's the only name
perfect for Everton.
Who's that, mate?
Olivier Giroud. He would be perfect for Everton. I don't understand why. They must have looked at him, but he mustn't want to go. He probably wants to stay in London, doesn't he? That's why he went Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah.
But you need that kind of big hold-up player, and then because Dominic Calvert-Lewin's quick, and he would be happy to run onto those. His hold-up play is brilliant, but imagine both of them doing it, and they can run off each other, and it'd just be class. And he's great in the air. Like he can score loads of goals from corners, especially or even crosses like Digne and Coleman getting crosses in. Like he'd score loads.
Digne. Whatever happened to that Jovic?
Oh, he's at Madrid still.
The next big thing that everyone was bumming off, and I said, no chance he'll be shite, and hasn't played for Real Madrid because he's wank.
He was class for Frankfurt. Was it Frankfurt he played for?
Yeah, he was apparently.
And he's only young. It's weird that they've either not given him a chance or not loaned him out. Like, Hazard has been rubbish.
Same as Hazard, he's had bad injuries since he got there, but he just doesn't seem to cut it. Like he plays that. What's his name? Mariano.
Yeah,
the one that famously took Ronaldo's number 7 shirt.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like the players that go to Madrid and just don't cut it. I thought Hazard would be amazing for them, but maybe
Sergio, is it Asensio?
Asensio, yeah.
He scored, didn't he? The other day. I don't know if it's his first one back since injury, but before he had that bad injury, didn't he? And before that, he was class. So I'm hoping that he can sort of like get back to his fitness that he was showing before that.
Real Madrid came back like back end of last season. He came back, and I think he scored with one of his first touches back. Just like showed his class complete. And
that's
brilliant.
Martin Odegaard's back from Sociedad now.
Yeah, he's a good player though now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very good player. I think they'll keep hold of him this time rather than loaning him out or selling him on. I think they'll give him a go.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot. I mean, I wanted to bring up the list of free agents as well.
Go on.
Oh,
some good players on this.
Like Ramos, Bernat, Vasquez, Ricky Puig, which I can't believe that Barcelona are looking at extending his contract. Messi, Aguero, Di Maria, Draxler, Boateng, Ozil, Memphis Depay, Wijnaldum, Alaba, Thauvin, Donnarumma, Modric, Andreas Milik. Like Milik would be a decent side to use on a free.
Yeah, what a good player. He's a great player, him.
Hey, Donnarumma.
For Napoli he played for, didn't he?
The one name on that list that I am gobsmacked there's not a massive queue of clubs lining up for is Donnarumma.
Yeah, same. Well, I've seen Everton link with him.
He would be that would be a brilliant signing getting Donnarumma in.
He's only 22 or something, isn't he?
I swear he's been about 22 for the last 10 years.
Yeah, well, he came through when he was 17, didn't he? So, but him and Mesut Ozil, like he would still do a job somewhere. I don't think he'll be in the Premier League. He'll go to Spain or he'll go to Turkey even. He'll go to Besiktas or someone like that.
I think he'd go to Germany, you know. I think he'd have a little
possibly, yeah.
Go back to Schalke.
What happened with him? Oh, God, not Schalke. They'll be relegated. He'll be playing in Bundesliga.
I was hoping someone was going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
God, they're diabolical, aren't they? I saw their results.
Yeah.
Like a string of results. It was just like lost, draw, lost, draw. You know what that is, though? It's because John Joe Kenny's come back to Everton.
There it is. It all comes back. There's some fucking talent on this list.
What about Aguero?
I know.
I can't believe that they're not going to give him a new contract.
These players, 80% of this list will get a new contract.
That's what I'm thinking. I reckon if
you're
doesn't,
the risk of letting someone like Memphis Depay go on a free.
Yeah.
Stand up player for them.
At Barcelona trying to sign him and they didn't have the cash for it this summer. So that's him going on.
They only wanted 40 million.
He's injured now, though, isn't he? Is he done his ACL or something like that, I think?
I don't know. I know he did. I don't know if he's back or not. You might be right, though. But, like, Alaba going to Real Madrid.
Yeah, that'd be a signing.
And,
yeah, almost, yeah. He's only 28.
Is that? I thought he was older than that.
Yeah,
He's been around for ages.
I know, because he's another one that's been around since
He's been 28 for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But what a signing he'll be for Madrid. He'll be class for them.
They need him.
He'll be a midfielder, won't he? He'll sit in front of the back four.
Well, I think that's the best part about him is he's so versatile.
Yeah.
He's so brilliant at midfield, left back, centre back. I mean, he's been that good at centre back, and Alphonso Davies has been that good at left back. The Bayern have just been like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah, go with it.
Just leave it as it is.
It works. We're winning.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that he'd be a perfect replacement for like Matic or someone in United central. Like, what? That'd be class. Imagine like him and Fred or him and McTominay sitting in front of the defence with Bruno and Pogba, Rashford, Martial, Cavani all in front.
I'll tell you, by the way, I think I've said it once before on another week, but Fred's a different player this year.
He's been ridiculous. He's been one of our best players this season.
You know what? Go back last season as well. Last season, he proper turned it right. His first season, he was god-awful, and I couldn't believe we spent 50 million on him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's really, like, last 18 months, he's been fantastic.
Well, wasn't he an attacking midfielder at Shakhtar? And then since he's come to United, he's sat back more, and his energy's ridiculous.
Well, we did it with Kleberson, didn't we? The comparison with Kleberson is out there completely. Kleberson signed as an attacking midfielder, and Fergie was like, I need you to defend. And Kleberson could not defend. And Fred can't do it. Like, Fred has managed to adapt his game, and you know what? Fair fucks to him. Like, he's worked hard. You can see he's worked hard in the gym. He's, like you said, his energy. He's like Park. He's got a third lung.
Yeah. He just keeps going and going and going. I'll tell you one really shrewd signing that I've seen is in the works is Emil Buendia going to Arsenal.
I heard about this morning. They're looking at a cash and player deal, aren't they?
Yeah, either...
Like Reece Nelson, is it?
Nelson or the other young lad they've got.
Maitland Niles.
Yeah, could be. But he had one of the top... I think he was top 3 in number of chances created when Norwich were in the Premier League. And he was a great player for them, and I think he'd be brilliant for someone like Arsenal. And it's surprising that no one else is looking at him, really. It's the same with Max Aarons. Like, it just seems that it's United and Everton that may have been linked with him. I've not really seen any other people linked with him. And there was him, Buendia, and Todd Cantwell that were the 3 standout performers for Norwich. Sorry?
What the fuck's happened to Cantwell? I don't
know. Well, he's just gone down with Norwich and not heard anything of him. But yeah, I expected.
Though, aren't they? Norwich are still doing all right in the Championship.
They were close to top, weren't they? Yeah, weren't they unbeaten?
I think they are top, if I'm not wrong.
First to second, I think.
I think that on the way it looks at the minute, those 3 I expected to stay in the Premier League. I thought that all 3 of them would.
I did too.
Would be sold, but
yeah, I did as well. It's an interesting one. Like, because Max Aarons at one point was being linked with Bayern Munich last season. Like Bayern Munich and Barcelona, and then Barca went and got Serginho Dest instead.
Yeah, which came out of nowhere as well. He's American, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be much business done in January, given that the COVID situation and like Lee, you just said there that Max Aarons, there's only a couple of clubs that have sort of been linked with him, and do you think that's the reason for that? Is the financial side of things, because of the COVID and whatnot? I mean,
yeah,
there's not really many sort of big sort of great signings that do happen in sort of January time all that often. I mean, we had Bruno last year, but it's usually most of the better deals are done in summer. But
I can say,
Omar Niasse. Don't write it off. Lokomotiv Moscow, what a buy.
But just going back to that, there's January like signings. I think Josh put it in the group chat before with Nemanja Vidic going back a few years, 7 million. And was it Patrice Evra as well in the same window as January as well? These signings don't come around that often in January, but
no, like you normally have one standout per league, don't you? In terms of big signing, like we had Bruno last year. The year before it was Virgil going from Southampton to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which ultimately has brought them a title. So fair enough. Couple of years back, we had Mata come in. Mata came in January.
Sanchez was a January transfer.
Sanchez, well, we don't want to talk about that one.
No.
We don't want to talk about that. The signings that are made, like you said, are normally the shrewd 6-7 millions. Vidic, Evra, Buendia, if he goes to Arsenal, I think that'd be a great signing.
It's like players that have not really kicked on at their existing club looking for something else, and the club buying them are looking for a cheap sort of stopgap for a position. That's why I think we'll sign Aarons this. But then would they sell him? Like if they're in a title promotion charge, would they sell him in this window? Probably not. And to be honest with you, I'm not really expecting United to sign anyone in this window. They've said that they're looking, apparently, but I wouldn't even be bothered if we didn't. We don't think, apart from a right back and maybe
that's not even a first team right back. That's a cover right back.
This is just complaining about Wan-Bissaka because he can't play football.
And we've got youth that can play there. Like I keep hearing people around the club saying that they want to promote Ethan Laird. Apparently, he's meant to be a brilliant young player. But then you've got like Fosu Mensah that can play right back if absolutely necessary, and everyone else has had the legs broken. Twanzebe can play there as well, or even if you want to play a wing back, Dan James can play there. And
Lindelof's played there.
Lindelof played there. So we don't desperately need anyone.
Can I just chip in about Ethan Laird as well? I loaned him for Crew Alexander on Football Manager last year, and he did a great job for me. Got me up the league.
Bring him
Alex. Up the Alex.
I can't see United doing much. I think with Diallo coming in, I think that's going to be our business done. And it was obviously done in summer, but I think Marcus Rojo was on his way out finally. Good. I believe I read he's gone to Boca Juniors, or he's on his way to Boca Juniors.
Thank God for that.
I think this January would be a good time for United to just keep on continually getting rid of the dead wood.
Yeah.
Like if we could ship off another 2 or 3 players in this January, bring in Diallo, and then, like you said, bring through a couple of youth players, I reckon that's a really good January window. That.
Yeah. That's what we need to do. You don't want to disrupt the balance of the squad when you're playing so well. That's another thing. The bolstering of Diallo is everyone knew was happening anyway because the deal was done in summer. But I'm excited to see how he plays because everyone in and around like Atalanta and Italian football are raving about him.
Do you reckon he'll come to the first team?
Sorry?
Do you reckon he'll come to the first team, or do you reckon he'll go into the youth squad?
He'll do what Facundo Pellistri's doing, I think, because he's another one who's desperate to get into the first team. And maybe if we play a few, I reckon we could see players like Pellistri and Amad Diallo in the Europa League squad against maybe the shit teams that we end up coming up against.
I just think with 36 million euros, that's a lot of money to just throw into a youth team.
Yeah.
I think he's got to come into the first team for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Even if he just sits on the bench for most of the season and comes on 10, 15 minutes here and there, I think in that sort of money, that is first team money. That.
Yeah. I guess it just nods to his potential as well, probably.
Yeah. I think that Pellistri's not a first team player for you. I watched a couple of YouTube videos of him and he looks like a rough diamond. Does look like he polishes up, he could be a good player, but I still don't think he's going to be Man United caliber. Not at all. I think he's been bought on the cheap to sell for a big profit. I think he's a business deal more than a player for the club. That's what I thought of him before. Obviously, he could prove me wrong. He might come into the first team, be brilliant. But what I saw on YouTube, and I know those videos, they're not going to make videos of people playing shit, are they? And what they might do, but I don't watch them. Another player that you were talking about, but Romero, I thought he would have been linked with Everton again. I thought we might have considered going down that route again, but he seems interested in just going for a permanent deal on Olsen. That's what I keep hearing. Like he's in talks about bringing Olsen over on the permanent. So
I think the thing is with Olsen is if he's quite happy being a reserve goalkeeper, if you're Romero, why would you be reserve goalkeeper at United to then reserve goalkeeper at Everton?
Yeah. That's the point, innit? He wants first team football. He's good enough for first team football.
Yeah.
Well, red card in the Tottenham game.
He's getting on a bit, isn't he, though, Romero, now? Isn't he 34, 33, 34?
I think so, yeah.
So I don't think he's going to be a first-team goalkeeper anywhere he goes anymore.
Do you not reckon? I reckon
because unless he goes to like Italy or Spain and plays for a team lower down the ranks in those countries, he's not going to be a first-team goalkeeper in the Premier League. Unless, I don't know, he was to sign for a newly promoted team. Not this year. I mean for next season, which is probably why he's still sat at United, because he's probably on a decent wage.
Yeah,
he's getting paid to train very, very well. I reckon he's on at least 70, 80 grand a week. So, and the rest maybe. So I reckon they've told him, look, we'll just let you see your contract out, and then you can go and if a club tries to sign you on a free contract when your contract's up, newly promoted, maybe someone like Norwich, or I don't know if who else is in the running to come up at the minute. Not really seen. Watford are up there again, aren't they?
I don't really keep tracks on it, to be honest.
Yes,
no, I don't anymore.
Second, and then you play off places of Bournemouth, Brentford, Reading, and Watford, with Middlesbrough and Stoke just behind them.
God, I think it depends on the wages, though, wouldn't it, as well? You know, a newly promoted team, could they fork out 100 grand a week?
No,
on a keeper. You know,
I don't think he'd go for that.
Yeah,
I think first of all, Norwich are 4 points clear there. Bloody hell!
Well, if we realistically we think Norwich and Swansea and one of Bournemouth or Watford will come up. None of them teams need a goalkeeper.
No. To be honest with you, I don't want Swansea to come up again.
And his GoPro is still fucking smashing it. Which, if you've not watched them videos, by the way,
yeah, I've seen that.
They are phenomenal. Ben Foster's YouTube channel is an absolute piece of gold.
Player celebrated in front of it the other day.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Somebody definitely went up to a camera and started pointing at it, didn't they?
Yeah. It was incredible. Watford have Norwich have still got Tim Krul. Romero is not going to replace Tim Krul. I think they're probably about a similar standard of each other. And Tim Krul is probably on less wages.
Well, Tim Krul's getting on a bit though as well, isn't he? He was at Newcastle and he was old.
Yeah, well.
Don't make me say it again.
I can't be bothered with
He's been about 50 for 10 years, he has.
Get in.
I can't be bothered with Swansea coming back up.
They can just take Dan James back.
Yeah, Swansea, on loan. Yeah, they can have Romero, Jones and Dan James on loan. Bournemouth again. I'm quite impressed with Bournemouth because I was worried for them when they went down. I was expecting them to, and Brentford after the disappointment of not coming up. I was expecting Bournemouth to sort of cripple a little bit and crumble.
Yeah, they lost a lot of players
down. Yeah, they must have recruited really well. Who's the manager?
It's the lad who was the assistant manager to Eddie Howe.
Oh, right.
I can't remember his name, but it's basically it was his number 2, and he just stepped up into the role.
Well, he must be doing all right then.
Yeah.
Brentford, I'd like to see Brentford come up. I really would like to see
just
Brentford
for a change of team, like somebody new.
It is nice seeing a new team coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
For them to
because otherwise, the rest of the teams there are all usual contenders. Norwich, Swansea, Bournemouth, Reading even. They've not been up for a while, but they used to be.
Yeah, Reading and Middlesbrough haven't been up for a long time, so they'd be another three.
I wouldn't mind seeing Middlesbrough back up. Stoke as well. I mean, everyone likes playing away at Stoke on a cold Tuesday night, don't they? So that'd be quite interesting. Yeah. Barnsley, imagine Barnsley coming up. That'd be good.
Barnsley would be a good.
Yeah, Barnsley. They were in the Premier League when it started, weren't they? I think. I'm sure Barnsley have had a season in the Premier League in the 90s.
The one that's impressive much is Blackburn sat 11th. after their fucking demise over the years, seem to just be creeping back up again now.
Now, to me, recruitment drive as well, at the moment.
We're talking about teams that are maybe Premier League stature. To me, Blackburn should be there. Ex-winners.
Yeah, sure.
Only 6 teams that have won the league, isn't there? And they're one of them. What happened to them is awful. So it's quite nice to see them coming back up again. I wanted to touch on one thing before we bring up Dick of the Week and we leave. Burnley lads getting taken over.
Yeah.
Are they?
Do you know, I couldn't believe the price. What was it, 170 million?
Something like that, yeah.
170 million a Premier League club has been bought for. Chelsea spent more than that in summer. It's crazy. There must be the money that they're bringing in, in all the TV deals and stuff. That's an incredible deal when you think about it. Yeah. They'll make that money back after 5 years in the Premier League if they stay up.
It's a really, really good investment.
Yes, a brilliant investment. I can't believe they were so cheap. I can't believe any Premier League club would go that cheap. Especially when you consider Man United would have to go for something like 3 or 4 billion.
Yeah.
Because of the commercial engine behind it mostly. But 170 odd million for Burnley is crazy. But what will it change anything?
Well, I was about to ask that question. It's I think Eddie Howe. Yeah, it's Eddie Howe. No, not Eddie Howe.
Sean Dyche
to be Sean Dyche, his husky voice. Sean Dyche. I've got Bournemouth in the brain again. Sean Dyche, I think he deserves this. He had massive kickoffs to the board last season. He was really at odds with wanting to keep players on a contract and sign new players, and they never give him any money. I think it's going to be interesting to see now he's got a bit of money. Obviously, I don't know what these new investors have got in terms of spending power, but I'd imagine it's a lot more than what they've had. They finished 10th last season. What can Burnley do?
Hopefully buy a decent striker. That's what they've always been missing. Goals.
Chris Wood's the man.
Yeah, he's the only one though, isn't he? I feel sorry for him. Give the guy a world-class player up top.
Yeah, I think that's one thing they lack, Burnley, is goals. I mean, defensively they've always been quite solid. I mean, especially at home. He always sets up with that 4-4-2 formation. They play it really well, especially defensively. But where they do lack is a really good, decent striker up top. I mean, Chris Wood, I'd probably say he's the better one out of him. And is it Barnes?
Yeah,
up top. But I mean, what's he going to get you? 8, 10?
Not enough.
Not enough. And you need someone probably there to maybe double that, looking at 15 easily.
They've got a few good players, Burnley. You've got Tarkovsky's a decent player. Ben Mee's a decent player. Then you've got that young Dwight McNeil. He looks like a pretty good player as well. But
the keeper as well, Nick Pope.
Yeah, Nick Pope. Brownhill's looking decent this season.
Brownhill does look good.
Warrington boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
What was it?
You've got the other fella, Jay Rodriguez. Is he Burnley now?
I don't think so. No, I think he's playing
West Brom again.
Yeah, I think he's playing. Yeah,
is it? No, I'm pretty sure he's a Burnley. Me.
I think you're wrong, Lee.
I'm having a look.
Who was that lad that they got from Villa? The right back.
Plays for Burnley. Jay Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Who? Sorry.
Jay Rodriguez does play for Burnley.
Yeah, Loughton, decent defender. I watched Burnley against Villa a couple of weeks ago and he was solid at the back, really good. And he was decent for Villa as well. But apparently he left on bad terms with Villa. So I don't know what it's all about, but apparently, they were saying, no love lost between Loughton and returning to play against his ex-team here. So they must have been pretty bad terms. I'm not asked.
I guess the key question is, are Burnley going to win the league in the next 10 years?
No. This is the thing,
stranger things have happened, lads. Stranger things have happened.
I don't think they have,
5,000 to 1, Leicester City.
I think that, you know what?
Do you know what?
Even Burnley would always be 6,000 to 1.